on a slant this way if you can, just so that you can look to both sides as well as in front of you. Okay, just coming a bit nearer as well. He's a bit nearer. Okay, fantastic. So, we're standing here in Bloomsbury Square Gardens, which of course is the heart of this square with its residential properties around the edge. And this Bloomsbury Square has the distinction really of being the first London square. And it was developed, you can see none of this at the moment, it's all gone, in the 1660s after the civil war between Parliament and the King during the 17th century. And it was first originally called Southampton Square. And we've heard already a little bit about the Bedford family, and of course the Southamptons married into the Bedfords and so acquired this square. And I think the Earl of Southampton at the time was sort of trying to rival Covent Garden a bit, because Covent Garden has the distinction of being the first, but it's actually a piazza and not a square shape. An interesting note about the size of the square, because when we go on our walk we'll see some other sort of square-like things in Bloomsbury. They all followed the field boundaries, and away to the north the Earl of Southampton built on a field called Longfield his enormous house called Southampton House, which later on became Bedford House. Lady Rachel, his daughter, had in fact inherited all the lands. She married William of the Bedford family, and he had a very sad story because he was beheaded during the reign of James II for trying to get the Protestants back on the throne. And so began this tradition really of the Whigs and others, of the Bedfords and others of the Whig tradition, which we'll hear a little bit more about. Politicians, not only architects, frequented this square. So the 5th Duke, family were given this title as a sort of sorry present for destroying, for killing their son. The 5th Duke of Bedford then redeveloped the square, and he redeveloped the gardens. The gardens were initially just quite a simple cruciform shape, but as you can see today, there's a big circle in the middle. And if you look over to your right, you can see a children's play area. And if you look over here, you can see there's a fenced off area with some trees. And this recalls the design of Repton, who the 5th Duke commissioned to actually lay the gardens out more formally. And it had sort of these ovals. Some of these are still circular